Do you think the demands of the operator from players like you, what they were with regards to eSIM 2 years back, have also changed a lot?
I think it has changed a bit, definitely. And I think there are probably a couple of areas where it changed, right? I think one of the area is more related to the devices that it supports. So, for instance, if you had a 5G device or an older device, for instance, which supports a different profile version, you basically had to provide different QR codes for different devices, right? Because you would normally deliver a different profile type to that or profile version to that particular customer. So if you have a 5G device, you would have a 5G profile, otherwise another form of profile. But if you have, for instance, an old device with an older version of an eSIM in there, again, you would need to provide a lower version of that particular profile. And I think what we have done, for instance, intelligent profile delivery, where we see what the device capabilities are, we see what the eSIM capabilities are, and then in real time make sure that they get the right profile for that particular device and that eSIM. Similarly, there are other challenges as well in terms of channel management. So we see in certain markets they use a lot of distributors, specifically in Asia. I think in Africa that's the case as well. So there's need for channel management, for instance, as well, because they already have sold, let's say, these eSIMs, and they have their own systems of distributing it throughout the market. And there are lots of other things, I think, where things have changed. For instance, inventory management. I think just-in-time delivery is very important. Multi-tenancy, I think, as well, specifically when you serve as an MVNE or an MVNO. They have their own customers. They want to offer them the same kind of services as well. So I think all in all, the challenges have changed.
One of the buzzwords of the IoT side is eSIM has been SGP32, as you must be aware. And like, of course, it promises a lot of things. But what does it change exactly, and how do the users benefit from this technology?
They came up with a new standard based on the consumer standard, SGP22, which is now then basically SGP31 and 32, where they use the basis of that is the consumer model, the SMDP+. So basically what they've done then introduced a new component, the EIM or the eSIM IoT Remote Manager, which basically where you can handle or basically manage all these devices remotely. You can manage all the profiles from these operators. And why can you manage all these profiles? Because the operators don't actually provide the profiles. They only provide the profiles through their own SMDP+. So the only thing that you get is the activation code, right? So the activation code is basically the QR code. So you manage all these activation codes, and therefore you can then push an activation code to a certain device, and the device would connect to the SMDP Plus to download that profile. Of course, that's a very simple representation. There are other ways as well. So you got direct download, you got an indirect download for these network constrained devices. If you have a contract with multiple operators, you can manage all these profiles remotely to thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of devices through the EIM. Initially, a very flexible model. But what I think is very important is the automation aspect of this. So if you've got even 1,000, but let's say hundreds of thousands of devices that you need to manage, you don't want to manage them individually, right? You want to manage them in bulk. But actually, what you want to do, you want to automate this more. So for instance, if a particular device is, let's say, in Germany, that device would basically let you know, I'm in Germany, what profile should I use? And then the platform then needs to tell this particular device, well, you need to download this profile, let's say from Deutsche Telekom or from T-Mobile or from Vodafone. And then when it moves to a different region, it could basically notify the platform again saying, hey, I'm here. Is this profile still good, or do you want me to download another profile? And basically that automation, that is really important because you don't want to manage all these particular devices manually. So with our EIM, we've basically bridged that gap.
Would you like to give us your expectation for 2024 from the eSIM industry?
Yeah, sure. I think, the IoT business as a whole is growing. The IoT market as a whole is growing, right? And specifically cellular connectivity as well. So with the new standard, probably solutions will come out perhaps end of 2024. maybe 2025, right? Because there's still a lot of things to be done. But I expect a lot of growth in this particular area. And I think, as with others, we keep on developing that, both the immediate solution as well, right? Because, if you want to do it now, you need to have something ready as well. So we provide a immediate solution as well, which then basically you can transform into an STP32 solution as well. So basically, the device that you manage now with our EIM, you can also manage future devices that support STP32 with the same EIM as well. So I think it's very exciting. I think there will be a lot of growth, and I think we'll see a lot of development in this particular industry.